Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Blackboard. I am your instructor, Hanif Faail, and in this lesson, we'll be looking at the main two forms of Unit 1, the Faail form and the Faail form. So first we want to take a look at the Faail form, and I want you to pay special attention. Let me bring up my trusty pen. Trusty pen, where are you? All right. I want you to pay special attention to this here, the English transliteration, because you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to know this to be able to properly do your homework assignment. Don't worry, it will be repeated, but I want you to pay attention to it as we move forward. Okay, so what you have here is you have the F, which represents the Fa. You have the A, which represents the Fatha. We're going to learn all this in detail in another chapter, but because these are pretty static structures, they're not going to change. These two structures that we look at, then I don't think it's too much for you to pay attention to this. So we have the A representing the Fatha. Remember, we have the apostrophe representing the Ain. We have the I representing the Kesra. Then that's elongated via the macron. So this symbol up here, this line on top here, is called a macron. It's put on top of letters to show elongation. And so this Kesra being elongated by this Ya is shown by the macron on top of the I. And then we have the L for the Lam. Okay, so the way that we pronounce this is Faail. Faail. Not Faail. Faail. Not Faail. Faail. The Fa here is short. No Aleph after it. The Ain, the Kesra, that's what's made long here. Remember the Fa, the Fa'ul Fi'l, the Ainul Fi'l, and the Lamul Fi'l. So here are our words. We want to pronounce them each. We'll start from 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go 6, 7, 8. This was copied from your vocabulary list located in the middle, I want to say, of your book. So we have Salim, Salim, Jamil, Jamil, Qadim, Qadim, Rahim, Rahim, Thaqil, Thaqil, and Kabir, Kabir. Okay? So if we look at all of these words here, what do we notice that's similar between them? Remember, you can always pause if you want to be able to answer a question. We notice the Ya. The Ya is the consistent factor in all of these words, which we said also indicates that it is the addition. So we know that Ya has been added to each of these forms. And so to get to the root, you have to take the Ya off. And so to show that in different terms, you can see the white letters there are the original letters. Salim, you can see the Ya there is blue in all of these examples. Jamil, Qadim, Rahim, Thaqil, and Kabir. Now you'll remember that we mentioned, and it's also mentioned in your book, that the Faail form is generally used for descriptions. It's used for adjectives. But it can also be used to show a doer of an action and can also be used to show a receiver of the action. But we said more commonly it's going to be used for an adjective. So our first word here is Salim, and you can see the transliteration there. S-A-L-I, macron elongation, M for meme. So Salima is our root verb. Salama, those are our root letters. To be safe and sound, unharmed. So you'll notice here that we have be as a part of the verb. And remember, we said when be is a part of the definition, that it really is going to be an adjective. So if something is being safe, what is the adjective of being safe? Safe, secure, free, unimpaired. Safe can be safe in terms of security. It can also be safe or sound from any illness or harm. What I also want you to notice here, notice how it matches what we've written in terms of transliteration. Again, very important. Pay attention to that. Look for that. Notice the similarities there. That's how you know a word is on Salim. So these are actually both. That's how you know a word is on the Faail form if you look for that structure. You'll notice that these are pictures. These are actually taken from the Hans Wehr Dictionary, so we can see that the word salim is found in the dictionary, and it's actually found under salima. Remember, you start with the verb, and then you work yourself down through the words till you can find what you're looking for. What you're looking for is the A and then the I with the macron. So letter A, letter I with the macron, letter. That's what you're looking for. Jamil. So same thing. You have the first letter, the Faail Faail, the A, the Ainul Faail, the I with the macron, the Lamul Faail. So Jamala can mean to sum up, to summarize, like Jumla. Yeah, Jumla summarizes a thought. And then you have Jamula with a U, with a dhamma on the Ainul Faail, which means to be beautiful, to be handsome, to be pretty, and so on. So because of that B, and so here we have two definitions. How do you know which one to choose? Well, remember the Faail form is used for descriptions. The B gives us a description. Remember we talked about that. So Jamil would be beautiful, graceful, lovely, handsome, comely, pretty, and so on. Qadim. Q, D, M. Qaf, Dal, Mim. If you have the A for the fatha, the I for the kasra, the makron for the elongation. Qadama means to precede, to come before. If we want to describe something as coming before, then we'll describe it as old, ancient, antique. Next we have Rahim. Rahim, you can see it there. R for the Ra, A for the Fatha, H for the Ha, I for the Kesra, Makron for the elongation, M. Rahima means to have mercy, to have compassion, to spare, to let off. So if something has compassion, then it is compassionate and merciful. So Thaqula, فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية. To be heavy, to be loaded, make something heavy, to be hard to bear. So that's thaqil. So again, you see B in the definition, easy adjective conversion. If something is being heavy, then it is heavy, weighty. It can also be heavy in terms of concept, momentous, grave, serious, and so on. Kabir, same pattern. Kabara, to exceed in age. So kabara can be used for age. And kabura can be used for size. So we have kabara and kabara, to be older, to become, or be great or big. So both of them have B, so both of them are possibilities. Kabir can be old, like an older person. Kabir sin, old in age. Or kabir in terms of large. Both of those fit. You don't see kabir here for older, but it's used in that way. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Man lam ya'rif haqqa kabirina, whoever doesn't know the right of our elders, wa yarham saghirana, and is merciful and kind to our young ones, falaysa minna. Falaysa minna man lam ya'rif haqqa kabirina وَيَرْحَمْ صَغِيرَنَا. He is not of us. He is not following our way. If he does not honor the elderly, those that are older, and show mercy to those who are younger. The next form that we have is the Faail form. You will notice that the structure is different with the addition of the, can you guess it? Can you remember from class? You'll also notice that the makron is on the A and not on the I, because that's where the elongation is happening. So we'll read each of these words with the elongation of the alif. So we have, with the elongation of the fatah, so we have jalis, nasir, hafiz, zalim, sabir, abid. Again, jalis, nasir, حافظ, ظالم, صابر, عابد. So if we look at that, if we look at those words, we can see that the extra letter here is the alif. The alif is the extra letter, and there it is demarcated in blue. We'll read those one more time. Jalis, Hafil, Nasir, Zalim, Sabir, Abid. Remember, we don't have to pronounce the ending tanween if the tanween there with the dhammas is the last vowel sound on the word, and we stop there. So Jalis, you can see it written there, the macron on top of the A to show the elongations happening there. And then the I represents the kesra there on the lam. And then the lam al-fi'l is the sin. It's the last letter there. Remember that the fa'il form is used to show three things as well. It is usually going to show someone doing the action or the gerund. Remember we said the gerund is the ing form of the word. So that here would be, let's pull them up. So jalasa means to sit down or to sit with someone or sit at a table or so on. So if someone does the action of sitting, he is a sitter. But sitter has a very specific use in English, which is like a babysitter. So we can't be meaning sitter here because we're talking about actually sitting down. We don't see in the definition taking care of babies. So because the doer is a bit difficult to construct, then we're going to go for the gerund, which is sitting. So jalis is sitting, and you can see that there is the very first definition that they give us because the doer form isn't, or the doer meaning isn't possible. Remember, we'll reserve adjectives for when the definition has be in it. Next one we have hafil. Hafid, you can see again the elongation on the A right there. Kesra right there. Hafidha means to preserve, to protect, to guard, to defend. So if someone preserves and protects and guards and defends, and it is a preserver, a protector, a guardian, a guard, a defender, or it could be preserving, guarding, protecting, defending, and so on. So a keeper, a guardian, custodian, caretaker. Also, you see it says there, one who knows the Quran is called a hafidh as well. Okay, but all those other meanings, defender, guarder, all of those work as well. Remember, the ing works as well. Just because the dictionary doesn't have it, doesn't mean that it's not valid. Nasir, again, you can see the same structure there. Macron on top of the A. So nasra means to help, to aid, to assist. And so if someone does that action, then he or she is an aid. An aid is a person who helps, or a helper, or an assistant, or someone who gives victory. So we have helper, protector, granting victory, ing there. Yeah. Helping, rendering victorious, aiding, assisting, all of those work. Zalim, you can see there. Now, notice here that the va is represented by the z. It's not saying that's how to pronounce it. Remember, this is not transliteration of the Quran. So it's okay for him to use a z, or for them to use a z if this is what they want to represent the va. No problem what they want to represent. We just have to know their own code. So zalama is to do wrongly, or to do wrong or evil to yourself, to wrong someone else, or treat unjustly, to oppress, to beset, to harm. So the doer and the gerund form of this would be oppressive, wrongdoing, sinning, tyrannizing, tyrant, tyrannical as well. So we have unjust, unfair. These are descriptions here for someone who is that way. We give him the description: tyrannical, oppressing, tyrant, oppressor. So you see adjectives there. You can see doers, offender, transgressor, sinner, because he's wronging himself, just to do wrong. All those are possibilities. Sabir, from sabara, meaning to be patient. You can see the same structure there. The macron on the A, the I there isolated. To bind, to tie, to fetter, to shackle. That's one definition. To be patient, to be forbearing, to have patience, to take patience. So remember when we said if we see be, then we're going to use the adjective. So someone who is being patient is patient. long-suffering, enduring, still using the ing forms, perseverance, steadfast. And the last one we have here is abid. So you'll notice the apostrophe on the front representing the ain, followed by the a with the mekran for the elongation, and then the I for the kesra, and then the d. Abida means to worship, to serve, to adore, to venerate. And so an abid is a worshiper and adorer. Okay? And with that, we have finished. Again, your teacher is going to assign homework for you for your lesson. It's important for you to, again, not only notice the Arabic, but also notice the English transliteration, because that's probably going to be a part of your assignment. Because this is a video, that means you have a chance to watch it again. So no problem if you have to take a second look, or as many looks as you like. Again, that's the benefit of a video. We hope you found this video beneficial. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask your instructor in class. You can leave us a comment underneath the video, or you can ask directly into the classroom. Thank you very much for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.